regular meeting for June 27th. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
President Bohr,
Here.
Vice President Dominski.
Here.
Secretary Walker here. Treasurer Davis.
Here.
Trustee Meeks.
Here.
Trustee O'Brien.
Here.
Trustee Toth.
Here.
Please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, we have a presentation for a district retiree, Mrs. Garside. Superintendent Hatzel.
All right. I'm going to start by reading, and I hope Ms. Garside doesn't mind, her salutatory note to us as a district I thought was inspiring and really invoked the pirate pride that she had for Riverview. It states, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to work with the students in the district for the last 20 years. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be part of such a great group of educators. I will forever be a pirate for life. I also want to thank Casey for all of her service. She's been a dedicated member of our teaching staff and a tremendous advocate for her students. Ms. Garside has taught special education for the past 20 years at Seats Middle School, working to meet the many needs of her students, all while maintaining a positive attitude. On a personal note, Casey and I spent the first decade of her career teaching right next to each other at Seats Middle School, and we had connecting rooms with a little back room in back, and I could not be more thankful for her camaraderie and the great stories we were able to share when the kids were either away at specials or in the morning. Most importantly, her and her team of support staff were instrumental early in my career of spoiling me with fresh pots of coffee every morning. So I had a positive experience with her both personally. Her service to the students of Riverview is to be commended, and she will be missed by both the students and the staff. I've been proud, like I said, to spend a great portion of my teaching career working with you, Casey, and even more proud to call you a good friend. So congratulations on your retirement. Best wishes in all your futures endeavors. I do see Jeff's here, so we thank you for lending us to the kids of Riverview. She's all yours, and we're hopeful that you know a good retirement financial advisor to take care of her in retirement. So congratulations. Now, if you would come up, Casey, and have the board congratulate you.
Next, we also have the spring athletic accomplishment presentation.
And our athletic director, Mr. DeBrano, will present our spring athlete accomplishments.
Thank you. We had a tremendous year this year, fall, winter, and spring, and we finished off right, and our athletes did a tremendous job, and I am very proud of how they represented Riverview and the things we were able to accomplish this year. We're going to start off with baseball. Our baseball team was district champs. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here because many of them are playing in other states. But we do have a great accomplishment. Colby Dorn, if you could come up here. Since 1970, the Michigan Coaches Baseball Association has been naming All-State players, and Colby is the first one out of Riverview to be first-team All-State. Also, we could have Rick Dorn, who was an assistant coach this year and helped out, if he would come up here so we can pay him some gratitude as well. Thanks, guys. Next, softball. She was not able to be here today, but I want to recognize Madeline Winnicky, was honorable All-State. She had a tremendous senior year, and she's going to play at Concordia next year, so we wish her all the luck. Next, we have our track All-State qualifiers. I will call up Aaron Shoup, our boys coach, and Rick DeBrano, our girls coach, if you guys want to come up and announce your players.
Okay, I think we'll call them up by name first, and then we'll say a little something about them. We had a good year this year, though. We won our Metro Invite, which is all our downriver schools for the boys' side, and it includes some Detroit and Dearborn schools as well. We took first. It's the first time we ever done that in school history. And then we placed second in the league. We ended our league season 6-1, so on the year. So we had an incredible year. The good thing about a lot of these athletes is they're all coming back next year. So none of them are graduating and leaving us yet. But we'll start with Julian Rivera. He was a member of our 4x8 team this year that qualified for the state meet. And they also broke the school record at the state meet. And then he also was a part of our 4x4 last year that was all state. So he comes back next year as a junior. Next athlete we'll call up is Israel Garcia. He was a member of both our 4x8 and 4x4 team that went to states. So he's also on that school record holding 4x8 team that made it to state meet this year. And then the 4x4 team that is all returning next year and hoping to do some big things as well. And then we'll call up Caleb DeBrano next. Caleb also was a member of the 4x8 and 4x4 team as well, so he'll be returning with these three young gentlemen as school record holders. Again, hoping to knock that down and maybe earn an all-state bid. And then the last guy we'll call up here is Logan Ruffner. And Logan Ruffner was on the 4x8 as well. He was on the 4x4, and then he also went for the 1600 meter at the state meet. And at the state meet, he was able to collect 2 school records to add to his cross-country record. So he's got 3 already as a junior, and so he's hoping to knock those down and take down a couple more next year. So he ended up running a 4:25.65 1600 meter at the state meet to set a new school record. And then I forgot to mention the 4x8 school record was a 8:08.76, I think, and it took about 2 seconds off our previous school record. So these are our 4 young. And then we had one gentleman that couldn't come, Jack Bias. He was a 400 meter runner and on the 4x4 as well, and he was a regional champ in the 400 meter dash as well.
Thank you. I want to congratulate all the athletes here being honored today. They all had a great season. The boys, you did an outstanding job. I got them to watch them run all season long, and they were phenomenal. They had a little better record than we did. But anyways, I'm here to talk about Madison Hipshire. Come on up here. We call her Maddie. I don't really know Madison. But Madison ran the 100-meter hurdles, high hurdles. She was part of the 4x4 team. She qualified for the 300 hurdles, low hurdles. Her qualifying time was a 48.92. At the state meet, she ran a 49.04, and she was 14th in the state. I don't think there's a kid who deserves to go to state more than Maddie. She worked her tail off for 4 years. She was a 4-year varsity letter earner, and I had the pleasure of being able to coach her all 4 years. She did an outstanding job, and she was also, her senior year, she was the MVP. So she had a great season. We're very proud of her, and she should be very proud of herself. Great job, Maddie. Can you put them at the other end?
All right. Thank you, guys. Last, we have 2 athletes from our varsity girls soccer team that we want to recognize. The first one is Maddie Chase, who was named All-State Honorable Mention. So if you could come up here, Maddie. And the second one, she was unable to be here because she is playing on a travel team, a U20 team, and they had a game tonight. Riley Phillips was named 3rd team All-State, but she also tied the school record with 33 goals this season. She is a junior. She's coming back, so we're hoping she can break it, and it can be her record when she leaves as a senior. And so that's our girls soccer team. I also would like to thank President Bohr, the rest of the Board of Education, J.J. Hatzel, for all the support they gave me this year. It was a huge role stepping in, fill in for Jeff Sturgalis, who was kind of a legend in this area. But I couldn't have been as successful if I didn't have their support. And obviously, I take none of the credit because our athletes are amazing, our parents are amazing, and I love everything about Riverview. So thank you guys for this year, and go Bucks.
I too want to congratulate all the athletes and coaches for their dedication to their craft and making sure that Riverview is represented not only competitively but the right way, sportsmanship-wise. Mr. DeBranos being a little bit humble, but I'm quite certain, as he alluded to earlier in the meeting, that it's been a long time since we've had 3 straight seasons, fall, winter, and spring, where we've had so much to cheer about. So kudos to him in his first year for bringing home some championships. And nice thing is we've got some athletes like Maddie moving on, and then we've got some coming back. So the future's bright. So good luck to all of you going to play elsewhere, and those of you coming back in maroon and gold, we look forward to seeing you again next time. So thank you.
I just want to say on behalf of the whole board, I want to say our athletic teams are an annual source of pirate pride for our district, and I'd like to congratulate all the athletes and especially the coaching staff, the parents, the trainers, and the volunteers who work to make our pirate team successful. Next, we'll move on to guest and visitor comments for the 2-minute session. Let's see. The purpose of the public participation portion of the meeting is to provide an opportunity for the citizens to share their thoughts with the board. Personal concerns are best handled through the proper channels. Questions requiring investigation will be referred to the superintendent for consideration. Are there any guest and visitor comments for the 2-minute session? Seeing none, we'll move on to item A33, acceptance of agenda. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr,
Vice President Dominski?
be it resolved, the Riverview Board of Education accepts the agenda for the June 27th, 2023 regular meeting.
Motion by Vice President Dominski. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Meeks. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
President Bohr?
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
Vice President Dominski?
Yes.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A34, consent grouping. I will make the motion. Be it resolved, the Riverview Board of Education accepts the minutes of the May 22nd, 2023 study session, the minutes of the May 23rd, 2023 regular meeting, approves the check registers and purchase card expense reports, approve the membership renewal for MHSSA, approve the membership renewal for MASB, approve the certified personnel contracts, approve the individual contracts, approve the athletic training services agreement, and accept the Section 98B end-of-year progress report as all contained in the consent grouping. Do I have a motion?
Support.
Support, right. Yes, thank you. Supported by Vice President Dominski. Any discussion? Hearing none, Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
Vice President Dominski?
Yes.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Treasurer Davis?
Yes.
President Bohr?
Yes. Next, we'll go on to administrative comments, legislative reports. Superintendent Hatzel?
Yes, the state legislators are in their final week of session prior to summer break. We are anxiously awaiting and hopeful that before they conclude for their recess at week's end that we have a fiscal budget for the 23-24 school year. Obviously, in order to plan for our expenses, it is very important that we have that. So we're hopeful that that comes through from the legislature this week. A couple other bills that affect education. One we're particularly watching is some action on the retirement waiting period that is currently 9 months. There are some certain areas of need where we're hopeful that they make some movement to make that more easy to get high-quality people in front of our kids. So, other than that, nothing else to report. President Bohr.
Well, thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Next, we'll move on to new business, item A35, adopt budget amendment 2. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
During the school year, the operating budget is reviewed and amended as necessary. The Director of Business and Finance, Lonnie Draper, has reviewed the 2022-2023 budget with the Superintendent and the Finance Committee and is recommending that certain adjustments be made at this time. The resolution to amend the 22-23 budget for the General Fund and Special Revenue Fund is attached as Budget Amendment Number 2.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr?
Secretary Walker?
Be it resolved that the Review Board of Education adopt the General Fund Budget Amendment Number 2 for the fiscal year 2022-2023 as presented.
Motion by Secretary Walker. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Toth. Any discussion? Hearing none, Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Vice President Dominski?
Yes.
President Bohr?
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis?
Next, we'll move on to item A36, adopt the 2023-2024 budget. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
School districts are required to adopt budgets prior to July 1 of each fiscal year. We have prepared the proposed operating budget for the Riverview Community School District's 2023-2024 fiscal year. The budget was reviewed at a public hearing held prior to this evening's regular meeting. The resolution to adopt the 2023-2024 budget for the General Fund, Special Revenue Fund, Debt Service Fund, Sinking Fund, and Student School Activity Fund is attached and is recommended for adoption.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do I have a motion?
President Bohr,
Trustee Meeks?
be it resolved that the Board of Education adopts the attached 2023-2024 budget resolution.
Motion by Trustee Meeks. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Treasurer Davis. Any discussion? I just want to say, I want to thank our Finance Director, Mr. Draper, and our accounting team for all their diligent and professional work in bringing both the amendment budget number 2 and the 2023-2024 budget to the board, patiently answering all of our questions. The budget is a piece with a lot of moving parts, and he really helped us understand some of the financial aspects of the budget. So Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee Meeks,
Yes.
President Bohr,
Yes.
Trustee Toth,
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Vice President Dominski.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A37, ratification of Riverview Administrative Cabinet Master Agreement. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
Representatives of the Board of Education and the Riverview Administrative Cabinet have reached an agreement on a successor contract. The contract is 2 years in duration and expires on June 30, 2025. It is the recommendation of the Superintendent and the Director of Business and Finance that the proposed tentative agreement be adopted as presented for the years 2023 through 2025.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr,
Trustee Toth?
be resolved that the Riverview Board of Education ratifies the proposed successor agreement between the Riverview Board of Education and the Riverview Administrative Cabinet.
Motion by Trustee Toth. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Trustee O'Brien. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Meeks.
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
President Bohr.
Yes.
Vice President Dominski.
Yes.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A38, ratification of the Riverview Education Association Master Agreement. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
Representatives of the Board of Education and the Riverview Education Association have reached an agreement on a successor contract. The contract is 3 years in duration and expires on June 30, 2026. It is the recommendation of the Superintendent and the Director of Business and Finance that the proposed tentative agreement be adopted as presented for the years 2023 through 2026.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr,
Vice President Dominski.
be it resolved that the Riverview Board of Education ratifies the proposed successor agreement between the Riverview Board of Education and the Riverview Education Association.
Motion by Vice President Dominski. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Treasurer Davis. Any discussion? I'll just say I want to thank Superintendent Hatzel, our Finance Director, Mr. Draper, our central office team of Ms. Carl, Ms. Jen Forte Ekman, and Dr. Rodney Green from MASB on all the work done to bring the collective bargaining agreements to completion. I know it was a new learning experience for them, and a lot was learned and a lot was accomplished in the area of attracting and retaining the best staff and maintaining fiscal soundness for our district. Any other discussion?
Yes, President Bohr.
Vice President Dominski.
I don't know if you want to make mention about a couple of board members that are going to.
Oh, right. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, due to Trustee Meeks and Trustee O'Brien having family members employed in the district, they will be abstaining from the vote. Thank you again. Hearing no other discussion, Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
President Bohr.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Vice President Dominski.
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A39, ratification of the Riverview School Maintenance Custodial AFSCME Local 1590 Master Agreement. Superintendent Hatzel, Background, please.
Representative of the Board of Education and the Riverview School Maintenance Custodial, AFSCME Local 1590, have reached a tentative agreement on a successor contract, and the membership has voted to ratify the new contract. The contract is 3 years in duration and expires on June 30th, 2026. It is the recommendation of the Superintendent and the Director of Business and Finance that the proposed tentative agreement be adopted as presented for the years 2023 through 2026.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr,
Trustee O'Brien?
be it resolved that the Riverview Board of Education ratifies the proposed successor agreement between the Riverview Board of Education and the Riverview School Maintenance Custodial, AFSCME Local 1590.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Meeks. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. President Bohr?
Yes.
Vice President Dominski?
Yes.
Treasurer Davis?
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A40, ratification of Riverview School District Secretaries, AFSCME Local 1590 Master Agreement. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
Representatives of the Board of Education and the Riverview School District Secretaries, AFSCME Local 1590, have reached an agreement on a successor contract. The contract is 3 years in duration and expires on June 30th, 2026. It is the recommendation of the Superintendent and the Director of Business and Finance that the proposed tentative agreement be adopted as presented for the years 2023 through 2026.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr,
Trustee Toth?
be it resolved that the Riverview Board of Education ratifies the proposed successor agreement between the Riverview Board of Education and the Riverview School District Secretaries, AFSCME Local 1590.
Motion by Trustee Toth. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Meeks. Any discussion? I want to give the same thanks to Superintendent Hatzel and Mr. Draper and the negotiating teams for bringing these two contracts to fruition. The secretary and the custodial maintenance workers also. A lot of work and very, very fair agreements. And hearing no other discussion, Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee Toth?
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien?
Yes.
Trustee Meeks?
Yes.
President Bohr?
Yes.
Treasurer Davis?
Yes.
Vice President Dominski?
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A41, approve second school of choice application period. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
The State School Aid Act provides a local school board with the option to participate in state schools of choice programs under sections 105 and 105C, which permit the district to accept for enrollment non-resident pupils residing within the intermediate school district boundaries and for non-resident pupils residing within the boundaries of an intermediate school district that is contiguous to the ISD of the enrolling district. The district's proposed 2023-2024 operating budget incorporates school of choice as an essential for the consistent operating revenues and program sustainability. It is the recommendation of the Superintendent and the Director of Business and Finance that the Riverview Community School District open a school of choice enrollment period, accepting a minimum of one applicant in each of the grades kindergarten, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, from non-resident students residing within the intermediate school district and from non-resident students residing within the boundaries of an intermediate school district that is contiguous to the ISD for enrollment in face-to-face instruction. It is also the recommendation, the acceptance of unlimited applications for the enrollment in the Riverview Virtual Academy in grades K through 12.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do I have a motion?
President Bohr?
Secretary Walker.
Be it resolved, the Review Board of Education, exercising the option permitted by Section 105 and 105C of the School Aid Act of 1975, as amended by Public Act 300 of 1996, will, for the purposes of Section 105 and 105C, accept limited applications of non-resident students from outside our district who reside within the Wayne-Risa ISD and accept limited applications of non-resident students from ISDs that is contingent to the Wayne-Risa ISD for enrollment of minimum of one student for grades K, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th for face-to-face instruction, and unlimited applications for the enrollment in Riverview Virtual Academy in grades K to 12 for the 2023-2024 school year as presented.
Motion by Secretary Walker. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Vice President Deminsky. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Trustee Meeks.
Yes.
Vice President Deminsky.
Yes.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
President Bohr.
Yes. Next, we'll move on to item A42, award Huntington exterior window glass replacement. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
Due to the poor condition and safety of the existing window glazing at Huntington Elementary, we developed and solicited bids through an advertised RFP to replace the existing glazing and plate glass with new safety glass and glazing. Lee's Glass Company was the only vendor to submit a response. Their bid proposal is within the industry standards for this project and meets all specifications within the RFP. Attached to the submitted bid proposal form. The replacement of the failed glazing and plate glass throughout the district has been a multi-year ongoing project. With the completion of this project, Huntington will be 90% completed. After reviewing the bid, it is the recommendation of the Director of Operations, Gary Kennedy, and the Director of Business and Finance, Lonnie Draper, that the Riverview Community School District, that Lee's Glass Company be awarded the project for a sum not to exceed $77,480. This project will be fully funded by sinking funds. Please note, if the prevailing wage is required, there will be a 25% increase to the bid amount.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr,
Trustee Meeks?
be it resolved, the Riverview Board of Education award Lee's Glass Company the Huntington exterior window replacement project for a sum not to exceed $77,480. Noted that if the prevailing wage is required, there will be a 25% increase to the bid amount.
Motion by Trustee Meeks. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by, who got that one? Trustee Toth. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Secretary Walker, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee Meeks.
Yes.
President Bohr.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Vice President Deminsky.
Yes.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A43, award the high school and memorial HVAC units. Superintendent Hatzel, background, please.
The high school and Memorial Elementary buildings have multiple areas of new construction and direct sun exposure that are in need of updated HVAC systems. The high school rooms are specifically 114 and 115. The memorial rooms are 114 and the newly constructed offices. Quotes were received to purchase the necessary units through an OMNIA certified proposal for a total of $57,100 funded using ESSER funds. After reviewing the quotes, it is the recommendation of the Director of Operations, Gary Kennedy, and the Director of Finance, Lonnie Draper, that Thermalnetics be awarded the order for a sum not to exceed $57,100.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. I will make the motion. Be it resolved, the Riverview Board of Education award Thermalnetics the order for air conditioning units for Riverview Community High School and Memorial Elementary for a sum not to exceed $57,100. Do I have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee O'Brien. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee Meeks.
Yes.
President Bohr.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Vice President Deminsky.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to item A44, approve optional Chromebook protection plan.
All students in grades 6 through 12 are issued individual district-owned Chromebooks. Intentional and accidental damage to these district-issued devices is not typically covered under warranty. Riverview Community School District has agreed on providing optional Chromebook device protection plan that can be purchased annually for each student's device. Parents and guardians who choose to purchase the plan will be protected from unexpected repair costs. Details of the plan are attached. It is the recommendation of the superintendent and the technology coordinator that the district provide the optional Chromebook device protection plan for the 2023-2024 school year.
Thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. Do we have a motion?
President Bohr,
Secretary Walker?
be it resolved that the Review Board of Education approves the offering of the optional Chromebook device protection plan for the 2023-24 school year at a price of $25 per device as outlined.
Motion by Secretary Walker. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Meeks. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Trustee Meeks.
Yes.
Vice President Dominski.
Yes.
Treasurer Toth.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
President Bohr.
Yes. Next, we'll move on to guest and visitor comments for the 5-minute session. Any guests and visitors for the 5-minute session? Seeing none, we'll move on to items for discussion presented by board members concerning which no action can be taken. Any items, discussions? I just want to say I want to congratulate and thank everyone for our successful commencement program on the athletic field. It was perfect weather and a wonderful ceremony set up by our high school principal, Ms. Jen Furkes, our senior class sponsor, Mrs. Kim Degenkolb, and I believe our own Mrs. Carl helped also. The evening was filled with pirate pride as a send-off for our graduates and their future paths to success.
President Bohr?
Superintendent Hatzel.
Go ahead. You got more?
I've got one other thing for maybe closing.
Okay. I want to thank all of the negotiation teams, the representatives of this Board of Education, myself, Jen and Lonnie and Sean Gill, spent quite a few hours working to produce a document that was both fair and fiscally responsible for 4 major groups. I also want to commend those groups' teams who worked with us in a cordial and teamwork environment. And while all things were not always agreed upon, it was nice to see that the people of Riverview, regardless of their position, were able to come together to strengthen our team. So I want to thank all the people that took the time to make that happen. We do have an upcoming tech update that's happening as we speak, and thanks to Mrs. Carl, we have begun the launch of our new website. So this summer, as we continue to produce content for that, we're hoping to have a much better user-friendly environment to get you the information you need. Most specific information you need is, as we approve tonight, our school of choice window is open. If you've been watching along, you will know there's no better place to educate your kids, so take advantage of that window and become a pirate. Finally, this marks the actual calendar 1-year tenure of myself, so I wanted to give a big thank you to this board. While it's been challenging, your support and constant advice has been extremely well received, and our teamwork, not unlike the other teamwork I mentioned, I think makes Riverview even stronger. So thank you. In the same vein, the students, the families, the staff, the community, and Ms. Carl have all made this a rewarding experience. And again, there's no better place to be than Riverview to educate your kids because of this teamwork. So go Pirates. Thank you, Mr. Bohr.
Well, thank you, Superintendent Hatzel. I think we would all agree it's been an absolute pleasure working with you this year. We're all learning together. We accomplished a lot. I can honestly say I can't imagine anyone having a more challenging first year than you had, with things that popped in that people wonder how could that pop in, but you and your team handled everything very great in astonishing fashion. And I just want to thank you and for really collaboratively working with the groups, working with our leaders, our staff, and the parents in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got one more thing. I just want to say on behalf of the board, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Capella family who last week lost a beloved member of their family, Bruno. Bruno founded Riverview Pizza 31 years ago and managed it with all these years with his sister Leah and their family. They're an amazing example of a treasured family-based small business in our community. They've been longtime dedicated supporters of our community and schools in many ways. And what made me realize how special their family is during the COVID-19 pandemic, they and their family and staff persevered, buckled down, got prepared with all the mitigation protocols, and they were there providing their menu of comfort food for our community at a time that was so difficult for us to get through for everyone. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Capella family. Any other items for discussion? Next, we'll move on to future business. We'll have no Monday study session for July. Frequently in July, with people's vacations, it's difficult to get a quorum. We do feel we'll be able to have a quorum, and we'll have a study session Tuesday, July 5th. We'll have some likely staffing decisions to make and support for Superintendent Hatzel. And so the study session will be Tuesday, July 25th at 6:30, and then the regular meeting will be July 25th at 2023 at 7 p.m. Next, we'll need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Dominski. Do we have support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Toth. Any discussion? Hearing none. Secretary Walker, roll call, please.
President Board,
Yes.
Vice President Dominski.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Secretary Walker, yes. Trustee Meeks.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Toth.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned at 7:43.